Hello and welcome to All About Billings. I'm your host, Nancy Brook, broker and owner at Billings Best Real Estate. We are a show that takes advantage of all of our local community. We will interview local business people, entrepreneurs, community leaders, artists, entertainers, and basically just cool people around the Billings area. We will learn from their successes, their failures, and their connection to Billings. I am excited today to have as my guests some people from MRF events. You might ask, what is MRF? And
what is MRF?
What does that mean? Montana Renaissance Festival. So today, my guests are joining me from MRF. We have Doug McIsaac, we have Ken Hawk, wave Ken so people know who you are, Doug. Okay, and then we have performers for the Renaissance Festivals, Cindy Walker, she's in the back, and Tanya McFeeters. Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm excited to have you all here and find out all about the Montana Renaissance.
Well, and we're excited to be here, Nancy. Larry's already filled the colostomy bag twice.
Oh, no.
Oh, calm down, buddy.
Oh, no.
Larry. Anyway, questions. What do you got for us?
Well, let's start from the beginning. How did you get started on developing Renaissance festivals in the Billings area?
Okay, this is kind of an alcohol-based answer. When I moved, I was an actor in a lot of the festivals in Texas.
Okay.
And when I moved here, my drink of choice was mead with a D, not meat. I went to several of the local liquor stores trying to find mead, and they kept sending me to the grocery store for meat. So the only way I was going to get it was to start my own festival. And at the time, I was the event coordinator at the Art Museum. And one of our regular vendors was Ken Schultz, who owns Hidden Legends Winery, who makes mead. And we started talking. I said, well, what do we got to do to get this thing started? And so it's all based on honey wine, the whole thing.
Wow. Well, do you have a different story there, Doug? Let's hear from you.
Well, I was running the Highland Games at the zoo. We started that 2008 or so. And we were working with the zoo as a fundraiser for them. And the Art Museum was looking for a place to do Renaissance Festival, so they just brought that in with us. And that first year, we worked together. Didn't work great, so we ended up going with two different events. Going forward, I was involved with both after that, but it just grew. The Renaissance Festival just caught hold. I mean, people really loved it. We went from being, having a couple dozen vendors and maybe a dozen performers to, now we had 184 vendors at Red Lodge, and we had 9 stages of people going.
Yep.
So a lot happened along the path there. Do you want to talk a little bit about how?
We were very fortunate. I worked at the zoo at the time, and Jeff, the guy that runs the zoo, gave us carte blanche to do whatever we wanted with events. And every time I would bring anything up at the Art Museum, everybody would roll their eyes. Nobody will go to a Renaissance fair in Montana. So I finally just decided on my own I'd try it. And I was going to do it at the YAM originally, and within 2 weeks we ran out of space once I put word out we were doing it. So Doug and the other people from the Highland Games kind of got hold of us. Let's put this together and see what happens. So we started with, everything was free for everybody. We didn't charge our vendors. The performers all pitched in and we just wanted to see if it was going to work. And it worked incredibly well, paid for itself the first year. Jeff was happy, the rest of the zoo was happy. We stayed there for 8 years, right up until COVID hit.
So what year was the first one?
2012.
Okay.
And we probably had 800 people, would you say, for that first one?
Yeah, maybe 1,000.
Maybe 1,000.
We were donating about 6,000 a year to the
zoo
with the Highland Games,
okay.
So probably right at that.
And last year in Red Lodge we had 18,000.
Wow.
And we ended up moving to Red Lodge for two reasons. We outgrew the zoo, because the zoo, first and foremost, is a zoo. And then we put in a bison enclosure. That was where we were doing our jousting. We put in a waterfowl area, which was where we had our shire. So we kind of ran out of room. But Jeff was also on the tourism board for the state, and he was living in Red Lodge at the time. And they had a huge facility up there that wasn't being used 90% of the year, which was the rodeo grounds. And he connected us with them, and that's where we've been since, well, this is our 4th year there this year. So
24 was this year was our 3rd, 25 will be our 4th.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Okay, and Red Lodge loves us, and we've made that a home for the Renaissance Festival. And we've, this past year, we had people come from basically every state in the United States and several foreign countries, which was kind of neat to have people there from Germany and New Zealand, and who didn't come just for the Renaissance Festival. They came for Yellowstone Park, but we were just a happy diversion along the way. So it's grown incrementally every single year, to the point where it's one of the top 4 actually tourist attractions in the state now.
No kidding.
Yep. On the Governor's Board of Tourism, and yeah, if fame or money, none of us would be sitting here. So,
Well, I will tell you, I went to Red Lodge that weekend. We went to the Renaissance Fair on Sunday, but when I was coming into town on Saturday, there was so much traffic. It was unbelievable. I have never seen a traffic jam like that in Red Lodge. I mean, I guess unless there's a wreck.
It was
but
backed up 13 miles. It was backed up 13 miles one direction and 6 the other.
So how many people did you have that first day? Because you
13,000.
you said you even had crazy situations trying to take payments, right?
Yeah, there were some internet issues, and then Square wasn't letting us log in, so
man.
we just finally said to heck with it and just did cash.
medieval Renaissance times were never meant for technology. I mean, we threw our sewage in the street. Come on, we did this.
So we ended up that day having about 13,000 people in that day, which was nuts. And we had people. I mean, there were 3,000 people in line when we opened up the windows at 10 o'clock for them. It was nuts.
We had a shepherd out there parking cars all day on Saturday,
Yeah.
which was Larry got sunburn on his nose.
Yeah.
Pesky almost suffocated in his colostomy bag there, and it was a rough day. But it was incredibly successful. It doesn't help that when you come into Red Lodge to go to the rodeo, you got to go through a roundabout.
Right.
That kind of backed things up right from the get-go. But the mayor, the sheriff's department, everybody up there went out of their way to help us, to help park vehicles, to get things situated. Can't say enough positive things about the village and the people that work there.
The city of Red Lodge has been great to work with.
Well, that's
Great.
wonderful, and we're going to talk a little bit about other things you have going on, but
Yeah.
I want to make sure to introduce the ladies who are 2 performers who love the Renaissance Fairs. So let's hear from you, Cindy. Tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm Belladonna Nightshade. I was born in 1689, and I'm best friends with the man in the moon. He is my best friend, and all the little kids, when I go speak with them, and I walk up to them and I introduce myself, I talk to them about the man in the moon, and they brighten up, and every time I always tell them, tonight, I will tell them you said hello. And they literally, one mom last year told me, you need to stop saying that because my child looks up and is expecting the man to talk to her. So it's kind of cute. We get lots of little kids that are coming up to us and just, I mean, we started 2 years ago with the Ren Fair.
Yes.
2 years ago. And I just think that we're kind of I don't know.
A celebrity cult.
Staple.
You're part of the family, whether you like it or not at this point. So, and people come just to see them perform too.
They're part of the Magic City Witch Dancers. That hasn't been mentioned. So
Okay.
They're a local performance group.
Sapphira. Don't let Doug speak for us.
We are the Magic City Witch Dancers, and we have been doing this for 5 years, going on 5 years. And we're just local performers. We're a bunch of fun ladies. We just love to do these different events, and the kids are so much fun. But we have an amazing, we are fabulous, but we have a fabulous, we have other ladies in our group that are just as equally as fabulous and talented, so each one of us brings their own little thing to the group, and we just enjoy doing all of this because we get people that are coming out with their kids and their families just to have a good time.
And together we can make magic happen.
And they do,
Yeah.
very much
They're
so.
better at it than others.
Well, but some of us are so good that the others don't even notice. It's just how it works. They're talking about catering to kids. We do a whole lot of things at all of our festivals. We have a pirate induction. We actually have a pirate ship manned by Captain Scurvy and his and the Scurvettes, his little group of.
It's a 37-foot long, 30-foot high mast.
Yeah, it's an actual
It's a
pirate ship.
Yeah.
With a stage. He does a pirate induction there, and there's not much cuter than seeing a 2-year-old being inducted, having to learn to say to the best of their ability, and they have to walk the plank, which is only that high off the ground, but still, for some of these little kids, and they take it so seriously. They get their eye patch, they get their bandana, they go back with their mom and dad, and they're little official Scurvettes. And then the Queen of Fairies is also with us. She's been with us since the first day, and she does a pixie induction where all the little kids, well, it can be any age. Lots of times there's a couple of grown-ups and teenagers that jump in on this. They have to swear to guard everybody in the fairy realm. If once they've done their vows, they get pixie wings, which were put on them. And we're getting to a point now where we have a lot of pixie wing pirates. So we have all these children running around with eye patches and pixie wings and, going arg, but at the same time saving the fairies. It's more fun. It's like the witches were saying. It's just so much fun to watch. The kids get so involved with it. Something we started new this year with our jousters, we do a bounce joust where you have big inflatable horses and the kids get to, with pool noodles for their lances, they get to joust up and down a track. And the rage and heartfelt, just how much they want to destroy each other is incredible to see in a 6-year-old. I mean, they're beating each other with these foam noodles, they're bouncing their horses back and forth out of each other. Nobody gets hurt. It's a lot of fun. The kids love it. The parents love it. So the whole thing, we try to cater to families as much as possible.
So what makes people interested in attending a Renaissance Fair? I mean, obviously, you said it's the 4th largest event in our state now. Why are people fascinated by this?
There's a wide range of reasons. I mean, one is they just love to dress up. A lot of people love to dress up. Some of the people just want mead. Some people enjoy seeing people in all the costumes. Some people are into the history because I'm part of a group that does historical recreation. So some people are more into the history than others.
And we do try to do period demonstrations. We always have a blacksmith. We have a glass blower. We have a fellow that teaches medieval archery. So we try to cater to the time period as realistically as possible while still being funny and having a good time with everybody. So, and a lot of people just, it's a chance to get away from what we call the mundane life and world.
Right.
And you can totally immerse yourself in a different character and be part of a family of 4,000 or 5,000 people. And everybody accepts everybody. It's an incredible, welcoming, heartwarming event for people.
It's people get into it so much. It's so much fun to see people getting into it, and it's people from all walks of life. I mean, I see all the data. I'm a data geek, you know me. So I mean, I do all the website, and I see where everybody's coming from, and it's all strata of people, and we get 42 states in Red Lodge this year. So we get people from all over, and they just get into it, and they have a blast. And some people put thousands of dollars into their costumes. They add to it at every festival. Some people pull out $1,000 in cash to come spend it at the festival. Now, you don't need that. It's only $20 for an adult one-day pass.
And that covers 8 stages of all-day, nonstop entertainment with some of the best performers we can pull in from around the country. Okay, so it's
we spend
really better than the witches?
no.
We love these ladies. These ladies are really.
They have a genre all to themselves.
Yeah.
The only other person that's close to them, we have a fellow, Robin Player, who is the maypole man, who sets up a maypole and teaches people to dance with it. But the kids running in to dance with the Magic City Witch Dancers, it's just amazing to watch. We do have a guy coming in this year I was able to get between performances who was a world champion record holder in bullwhip. Adam Crack Winrich. He holds 30 different Guinness Book of Records. He performs at Renaissance fairs all over the country. It's hard to describe what he does. You have to kind of see what he does. But he does hold a record for 314 whip cracks in 1 minute, which I can't even imagine moving my hand.
He puts it's a whole show though. I mean, he jokes around with his audience. He plays with his audience.
Plays harmonica.
Yeah, he has also his different music that he dances to.
He whips things off his own head.
Yeah, he has people come in from the audience. He's got a really amazing acting, and he's going to Texas Renaissance Festival after us,
Which is the biggest festival in the country.
Well, and I remember there was a lady who she had a bunch of birds, ravens.
Yeah.
That was really fascinating.
Falconry is a big part of every festival, and we're partnered with the association out of Oregon Raptors, and they do, excuse me, all our shows.
Yeah.
You get to sit there, you get to actually get pictures taken with the hawks, the owls, whatever raptors they bring with them. They fly them through the audience, so it's really cool.
Right.
Part of the thing is they'll warn you ahead of time to make sure if you have a turkey leg that you keep it down under your lap, because the birds are going right through. And if you have a small dog, which we don't allow, but if you do, and you're in for a bit of sport, you can hold the dog. But yeah, the falconry is incredible, and that was a big thing in medieval times too. It's how the princes and the royalty, the nobility hunted. Was with their falcons. So that's a big part of it.
The acrobatics you also have had. I don't know if this upcoming one has acrobatics, but that's a big a big draw too.
Yep, there's 2 or 3 different aerial acts that are going on all day long throughout the day. Alterna Cirque, a very popular local group here, does a really good version of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, hence the coconuts.
Yeah.
So the idea is, no matter where you are in the festival, no matter which way you turn, there's something going on right there to capture your interest. And if you want to go over here and watch something, there's something there. And if all of a sudden you're hungry, you turn, there's food. There's something everywhere. We try to keep it as tightly packed as possible. Doug has a theory about keeping the excitement level, the energy level up, so we don't like things spread out a lot. As much as a medieval marketplace as we can make it and still be realistic.
Yeah.
So,
and everywhere else, we also have wandering minstrels and vendors. Like Frosty Locks has been with us since the beginning. And he's one of the #1 ranked, wandering acts.
They're called lane performers for the fairs, but yeah, he is, and then so is Greg Robin.
Greg is amazing.
The soon to be the Magic City Witch Dancers.
Yep, we love those ladies.
I mean, we
Our
try.
lovely ladies.
Yes. Lovely ladies.
Quattro the Great is one of our people who, he says he comes from a faraway land of Fallopia. He came here through the fallopian tubes. As part of his routine. We have sword swallowers.
Jousting. Order of Epona has been with us almost since year 1. And they put on a great jousting performance. It's order versus chaos, and they've got a great little performance they put on. And
they actually are part of the bounce joust at the very beginning. They have to go against one of our other groups called Sons of Odin. And what's ironic is that as jousters, they're terrible on bounce horses because they're used to their horses doing all the work.
Right.
Yeah, well, they were severely trounced at the bounce joust this year. So, but that's a part of every festival too, and that's almost as much fun as watching the kids. So
what do you love about the Renaissance fairs?
Besides everything, I love everything about it. I love dressing up. That's my #1. I love staying in character all day. And like somebody will say to me, "Oh, I love your costume," and I'll say, "Costume? I dress like this every day. When I dress in costume, I dress like you." So it's silly, and it's just a place that we get to be silly, and it's acceptable.
You can get away with, I mentioned earlier about innuendo. You have a lot of that goes on at the festival. We actually have one group that's a national group called Chase Treasure, who are a group of ladies that probably more, I wouldn't say MPG rated music. The kids never quite know what's going on, but the parents are just giggling their butts off listening to the music. We have several other musical groups that we bring in. Black Murray, one that's new this year that's a big draw. They've actually opened for Metallica and Thin Lizzy, is Nordic Daughter, who do what's called Viking rock and roll. So they're all dressed and their music is medieval based with a rock and roll bent. And they'll be doing both of our concerts that we're doing with All Hallows this year. One Friday night at Thirsty Street, who is sponsoring a show along with Art Walk for us. And then Saturday night at North Park, we'll have the second one.
Well, and let's talk a little bit about this upcoming event. Of course, we want to make this universal, so no matter if you're seeing this when the show has basically aired live or whether you're seeing it maybe a couple months from where it's aired live, we want to make sure that you're able to find some benefit. But now in September 2024, we have something coming up in October, right?
First week in October.
So tell us about that.
Take it away, Doug.
Our event, October 5th and 6th, it's called All Hallows Medieval Fantasy Fair, and it's a fundraiser for North Park here in Billings. And last year we did it just as a test run. We did a one-day event just to see if it would work, and we had almost 5,000 people in North Park for a one-day event. It went really, really well.
We were able to raise $15,000 for the dog park so they could complete their dog park last year.
It was great. And the park department has been amazing. They allowed us to do jousting in the park. It worked out really great. So this year we were doing a 2-day festival. Everything we talked about earlier will be happening there. We're going to have all the same. We're going to have our jousters. A couple of the new vendors, like we're going to have Hope Falls.
Hope Falls is a vaulting crew. Do you know what vaulting is?
Yes.
Acrobatic. A lot of people don't. They think I'm talking about safes and banks. It's acrobatics on horseback. So they're going to be with us as much as they can from now on out, along with the jousters. A big thing we do at this one, the All Hallows, obviously refers to Halloween. We do a costume competition that Dragon Egg Games sponsors with $100 first prizes for all the people that, I mean, some people just look so good in costume you can't pay them enough. But, you know, that's a big deal. There's prizes for second and third in different categories, and it's the whole park this year. Last year we used half of it. This year we're utilizing the whole park. So it's going to be about the same size as the Red Lodge, maybe even a little bigger than the Red Lodge one. With a few more different acts. So we try to bring in every year at least one new act and keep people come back to see your acts that are always there. Chase Treasure has a huge following.
We have people that follow. There's a guy here that from West Virginia that follows them all around the country.
He comes to the shows to see them. Yeah, so we try to keep the ones that we know everybody really likes, and then we bring in new ones as much as the budget affords us to each year.
Which we spend a lot.
So are there any fundraising benefactors this year?
This year, the money's going also to Partners for Parks because they're redoing their tennis courts, basketball courts.
Okay.
All that's being redone.
And they're putting in pickleball courts.
Yep. So the money this year goes towards, and we're partnered with BIRD, which is Billings Industrial Revitalization District, which is where North Park is. So it's not just us doing this, they're also helping sponsor this, putting a lot of money into making it where everybody's comfortable. North Park has this stigma, which we've never experienced. But we fence it all in so that it's fenced. There's security there at night. The second concert on Saturday night will be at the park. Warden's Casino is one of our big sponsors. Red Lodge Ales is one of our big sponsors, so they provide the alcohol. Western Ranch Supply is bringing all the panels for all the horses. They bring us bleachers. They're incredibly helpful for everything we do. So a lot of this couldn't be done if we didn't have these people backing us. Okay, Doug's group, Social Montana, who does all the media, the internet work, the websites and stuff. So all these people are part of this. They all donate their time and their money to make these things work. Yeah.
So when you started, did you really think this was going to be an event like this? It's amazing how much you've grown, although it has been, what, 10, 12 years?
12 years now.
We hoped. I mean, I don't think we really had a vision. He might have had the vision, but we didn't think it. And we're looking. Our next step in this is going to be to find some property and buy and build, and just be like all the other big festivals where we have permanent structures.
Which a lot of people don't understand when you come into the one here in Montana. All your best shows are basically villages, and they run 6 to 8 weekends, so they're 2 months of running. Okay, and that's kind of what we're shooting for, is having an event center with our own property, our own village, and just year-round events.
Well, folks, exciting times for Billings, Red Lodge, and our entire area. If you can make it to the Renaissance, I guess it's All Hallows Fair, right? Is
All
that-
Hallows Medieval Fantasy Fair, meaning you don't have to dress just like me. You can also be a witch or
Medieval Fantasy Fair. If you can make it to North Park on the 5th or 6th, I would highly recommend it. And if you catch this after the event has happened, check it out next year in Red Lodge. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, friends, for being here and entertaining us with your fun events. And we look forward to seeing you next time on All About Billings.